The blaze ignited on the first floor. Apparently the culprit, unattended candles that were left out by one of the tenants. And I want to take you down just a half block or so. You can probably see where the fire department is still pouring water on it. You can see how that wind just whips across this flat landscape, the snow stinging any exposed skin that you have. This is most definitely the blizzard-like conditions we were talking about. Police describing this as, in essence, a lone gunman on some kind of shooting rampage across several blocks. He targeted innocent people in their vehicles. So clearly the fans will have plenty of ways to stay warm on Monday, but this season at Target Field, the players get an additional comfort. That's because these new synthetic benches have been installed in both dugouts, and they come heated. This old tree just could not sustain the added weight of this wet, heavy snow. It falls down, lands on some electrical power lines, and then as you come over to the electrical meter, you might be able to see it got scorched over there.
Paul, what did Anna's father have to say?
Boy, an emotional moment out here, Heidi. We just met Pat Hurd just a few minutes ago. He is angry, he is upset, and quite frankly, he is desperate in his search for answers tonight. It was just Saturday morning when his teenage daughter, 16-year-old Anna Hurd, was found brutally stabbed to death in a nearby park. Tonight he came out here, he stood in front of our cameras, and he said there are people out there who know what happened. There are people out here who know who killed his daughter. Pat, how heartbreaking has the last 48 hours been?
Oh my God. Oh wow. Tearing me apart. I run out of tears. I ran out of hope because I know the 48-hour rule. And I'm angry. I'm very angry now. I would like somebody to give me an iota of hope that we can find the murderer of my daughter. She was so fun. It's funny. And she's just not here no more like that.
It has been a horrendous couple of days for Pat Hurd. You can see in his emotions and hear it in his voice. Anna Hurd was found early Saturday morning in a wooded area of Hillside Park, just blocks from the family's North St. Paul home. Anna's boyfriend, Anthony Mitchell, reportedly discovered the young woman and called 911. But by the time emergency responders arrived, Anna was dead. Police have been pretty tight-lipped about the investigation, and that has left the Hurd family extremely frustrated. Earlier this afternoon, I sat down with Anna's older brother to talk about the death of his sister and the search for her killer.
She was my little sister. I looked at her like a baby. I think it's a really senseless act by a senseless human being.
You want to see justice done?
Well, of course. Everybody wants justice.
Police will only say tonight that they think they have a pretty good idea about what happened. They just aren't quite ready to make an arrest. Pat Hurd, when he did step outside of his house tonight, offered a $2,000 cash reward out of his own pocket for information leading to a conviction of his daughter's murderer. He also pleaded with the neighborhood around this park, we're just a few blocks away from Hillside Park now, to check their garbage cans, to check snowbanks, to check the sewer drains, looking for any clues that might help police solve the murder of his 16-year-old daughter. Reporting live from North St. Paul tonight, Paul Blume, Fox 9 News. I think they are a little bit overwhelmed, but to be honest, kind of happy to get their story out there because they want to expose what they call the ugliness of it all. Apparently a nasty mix of alcohol, racism, and a crying baby at 30,000 feet.
Actually,
he has got to be one of the most adorable, inquisitive, non-stop tots you will ever meet.
He has a fake guitar that he sings Twinkle Twinkle on.
And the question reverberating around the country and beyond tonight, how could someone allegedly lay a hand on this precious face?
I have no idea. No idea.
Mom, Jess Bennett, was flying on a late evening flight from Minneapolis to Atlanta on Friday, February 8th. She had 19-month-old Jonah in her lap. Joe Hundley was supposedly sitting right next to them, and from the start, Jess could tell he was not happy to be there.
He got belligerent, was making comments, kept pressing his help button, trying to tell the staff that he was too big to be a lap baby.
Jess explained that Hundley appeared drunk from the get-go, boarding the plane with glassy eyes and smelling of booze. She tells me Delta flight attendants served him more alcohol after takeoff.
I could tell that he had been drinking.
With the flight full and uncomfortable with what she calls the deteriorating situation in her row, Jess says she took Jonah to stand at the back of the plane. When they returned to their seat and began the final descent into Atlanta, Jonah began to cry. That's when things went from bad to worse.
He looked right at my face and he said, I said, what did you just say to me? And then he got real ugly and hateful and kind of pushed himself onto my face.
With Jonah still upset and crying, Jess remembers Hundley taking a swipe at her son.
His hand definitely came down with some good force right at his face.
And Jonah was cut?
He was cut. Mm-hmm.
Where?
It was on his right eye.
We got a close-up look at what appears to be a slight scratch that remains. The boy's dad, Josh Bennett, trained in mixed martial arts and seen here in a previous bout, regrets not being there for his family.
As a husband or father, your job, you feel like as a man, is to protect your family, and when you're unable to do that, it feels very helpless.
Now both Josh and Jess want to see Hundley spend some time behind bars for what they call a racist and unprovoked physical assault.
If you want to be a racist, be a racist. That's fine. That's your thing. I feel bad for you, but you can't lay hands on anybody, ever. I mean, that's, nobody has the right to do that.
The Bennetts went on to tell me they were disappointed that the Delta flight crew didn't do more to defuse the situation. The airline says only that they are fully cooperating with the ongoing criminal investigation. Attempts to reach Hundley and his attorney late today were unsuccessful. Again, he is out of a job and facing a single count of assault in federal court, guys.
I love this one.
Quite a story, Tim.
Yeah.
Marge Hames is ready to take on corporate America, and she's willing to go it alone here. She is furious that parent company Sears Holdings is shutting down the local Kmart in her hometown of New Ulm. So angry, in fact, that for the first time in her 74 years, Marge has found something worth protesting.
It's like my home away from home. Anytime I need anything, I went to Kmart.
For more than 3 decades, Marge Hames relied on the Big K.
All I know is it's friends.
A store regular.
You look wanted. Do you need something? Yeah, well, come on. Tell me what you need, and I would take them to the right place,
Unfortunately for Marge, though, and other loyal Kmart customers, corporate has decided to shutter its New Ulm location.
I don't like it. Maybe other people don't like it, too.
The closure prompting the 74-year-old Brooklyn native to bring some of her East Coast feistiness.
You know that movie, Braveheart, where they have that's my mother's people.
To her own one-woman protest.
Bless her heart. Bless her heart. They have no heart, like I said, we're a dot on their corporate mat. Okay, that one didn't make so much money. Let's flick them off.
Marge took to the sidewalk across from Kmart on Thursday.
I was here when Kmart was the only game in town, and I'll be here when they go.
And vows to stay out here from 10 to 6 every day.
Thank you.
Except Sunday.
I go to church.
The grandmother of 9 with 4 titanium screws in her back.
I have to sit for a while. I have to stand for a while.
Doubts her little demonstration can actually save the store she loves, but believes someone has to stand up for the workers who made Kmart a community institution over all these years.
Where's these gals going to go? 35 years they've worked in this store. Where are they going to go from now on, right? Where to go, Mark? Yay!
I think that's great that she really feels that compassion about Kmart. I like Kmart. I've shopped here for many years too, but what can you do?
What can you do? Well, if you're Marge Hames, you can come out here, rain or shine.
Yesterday it poured cats and dogs and I got drenched.
And wear your feelings on your chest.
I'll be able to say, well, I did something. I tried to save your job. I did something.
Marge's one-woman crusade getting plenty of attention tonight. In fact, she's got her own headline here in the New Ulm Journal front page. And when I spoke to Kmart's corporate parent this afternoon, they had already heard of this protest. Unfortunately for Marge, a spokeswoman says this decision is final. The store already in liquidation with last days targeted for early June. I think this scene is something you can only find in Minnesota. April 22nd, we're standing in the sand volleyball pits here at Dracula's Pub and Restaurant in Inver Grove Heights. Tonight, Monday night, they're supposed to kick off their spring volleyball season. Outdoor season, think, bathing suits, summertime, outdoor fun. The ball's ready to go. This is the accumulation that's fallen just since we've been here tonight. Look, the nets are up, the lights are on, but no one is out here. It is April 22nd, and Team Chingy is hanging indoors, bowling strikes. But tonight, they're supposed to be out here on the sand volleyball court where their spring season was all set to begin at Dracula's.
We've had enough already. We're done. So we could move on.
Should be playing some volleyball tonight.
We should be playing some volleyball. That would be nice.
Mother Nature just can't seem to part with winter around here. And it's not just sand volleyball she's messing with.
Are you done with this weather?
I'm tired of it. Yeah, it's time. It's enough. Time to start golfing.
The storm that moved into the metro Monday afternoon started as rain drenching Target Field, forcing the Twins to postpone this evening's game with the Miami Marlins. That makes 3 postponements in 10 games this April at the outdoor ballpark in downtown Minneapolis. The two teams will try to play a doubleheader on Tuesday, weather permitting.
We were here 2 years ago in the snow, and it was probably a game we remember the best. Because everybody sang Christmas songs, and you just make the best of it. It's outdoor baseball.
Over at the airport, our seemingly never-ending winter is causing headaches and costing real money. Officials there confirmed that their snow and ice removal is already running $1 million more than a year ago. And with the snow coming down in force, they're sure to be at it well into Tuesday.
There's materials that we put down, there's labor, there's overtime. We have crews that stay overnight when we have these long, prolonged times of snow and so forth.
Monday's changeover to snow certainly slowed the evening ride home from work and school, with motorists already dreading another messy April commute in the morning. For Team Chingy, they're just wondering when they can put down the bowling ball and pick up the volleyball.
I think we skipped summer, but hopefully it'll warm up by August so we can get some games in.
Back out here live at your coolers, you can see some of the players having a little fun tonight, at least putting together a little snowman from the snow that has fallen already. Really kind of depressing and upsetting if you're a spring athlete. I know we've talked about it at the high school level, but this weather has really destroyed the spring sports season at all levels. I was talking to the folks in Richfield today, their recreation department. They had youth soccer and baseball set to begin on April 1st. It's now April 22nd, 3 weeks later, almost May. You know how many games all those young teams have played? Zero. 0 games played over there in Richfield. Let's just hope, guys, this is the final burst of winter, and let's get on to some spring.